Welcome to our Peninsula Proving Grounds here in Western Washington. Today we're going to build a new trail and then test it with our long-term 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness. That's coming up right now on Driving Sports TV. A few months ago, we bought an old gravel pit in Western Washington. Immediately, I got to work to build our easy course. This is designed to be able to challenge vehicles that have all-wheel drive, but might lack ground clearance, all-terrain tires, or special drive modes. And then we built this, a challenging course covered in boulders, designed to test vehicles with high clearance, all-terrain tires, and four-wheel drive. Today we have more building to do as we extend this trail through the woods and to the other side of the property. The goal of this new extended trail is to challenge vehicles that sit in the middle, SUVs and crossovers with some off-road capability but don't come fully loaded. So this is where I'm actually going to get started today. I'm going to clear out all this area, get rid of that branch hanging over, clear any logs that are on the ground, get rid of all the blackberries, and then cut a line. Once I get the line established, then I'll come back and add obstacles. And I'm going to connect the road from the forest to this point. The excavator I have is a Bobcat 35. It's not the biggest of excavators, so hopefully I can at least shove these to the side. If not, I might need to find an alternate route up. Also, I'll have to clear a lot of blackberries, plus I'll have to level out this ridge so that it becomes drivable. And then once I'm done, I'm going to jump into the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness, run through, and see how it all comes together. Now let's fire up that excavator. The roughed-in trail is pretty smooth and it's looking great. But as you know, a fun trail isn't one that's particularly smooth. You want something to have damage. So what I'm going to do is add some boulders and ditches, plus a tilt, to really kick things up a notch. Before I test with the Subaru Crosstrek, I do a quick run through with my 2022 Ford Ranger Tremor edition. This is a proper off-roader with a dual range transfer case, locking rear differential, a great approach angle, and Falken Wild Peak rugged terrain tires. On the new part of the trail, I managed to not fall off the ridge, which is good. I cleared the ditch with only a little scraping in the back. The tilt is easy work. There is a little struggle coming back through the ditch, but I lock my diff and get through no problem. But I didn't build this new trail for dedicated hardcore off-roaders. I built it for cars like this, the 2022 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness. Before I get started, let's quickly go over some of the main features of the Crosstrek we have here. Under the hood is a 2.5-liter boxer motor. It produces a peak 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. The transmission is a chain-driven, continuously variable unit with a revised 411 final drive. So it does have a little more punch on the low end compared to other 2.5-liter Subaru Crosstreks. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive is standard, and it's enhanced with their dual X-Mode off-road system. Wheels are 17-inch alloys wrapped in Yokohama Geolandar all-terrain trail tires. Ground clearance is a best-in-class 9.3 inches or 263 millimeters. Pricing on the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek starts at $33,540 US, including destination. With all that out of the way, let's have some fun. So this is going to be interesting. Obviously, doing a course like this with a properly built off-road machine like my Ford Ranger Tremor is one thing. Doing it with a small crossover like this totally something else, because we just don't have the articulation that you get in a proper off-road vehicle, nor do we have the grip that you get with proper all-terrain tires. Yes, these are all-terrains, but they're a much more pedestrian all-terrain in that they're more of a trail tire. Well, luckily, we start with a trail, but then things are gonna get harder. Let's see how this is. This is a very, very narrow climb up this first section, and the dirt is very loose. Now, over time, this will compact and become easier to drive, but right now it's gonna be a little slippery, and I do not have X mode on right now, by the way. This is just standard driving with Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, kicking in power where I need it. Oh yeah. Now, the funny thing is, when I took my truck up here, I felt like I really had no idea where the edges were. I felt like I was gonna fall off, basically. But this vehicle, it's small, it's low, it has good visibility. I really can tell where I am placed on the ridge. And I'm already starting to slip wheels here, so let's go ahead and switch it into Snow Dirt X mode, which is going to enable wheel braking or make it more forceful, where when a wheel spins, it'll clamp down with brakes, which pushes power to the other wheel. And let's see what we do. So I'm just gonna add throttle, and I'm just holding it there. I'm not doing anything. I'm just a little throttle, and it gets us through it, no problem. Okay, good start. But right here is where things are gonna get a little difficult. And by difficult, I mean fun, of course. So the rocks on the course here aren't really an obstacle. They're more of a marker to say, hey, at this point, things are gonna start to get more difficult. Now we're gonna go into a ditch on the right. Whoop, I think we just might be lifting that rear driver's side wheel. I'm gonna go down, and now we have the ditch. Now I'm really curious on clearances here because my truck cleared it, but one of the downsides of Subaru Boxer motors is the fact that they have a lot of overhang in the front. So let's see if we're gonna grind. In fact, I'm gonna get out and see what this looks like. The short wheelbase makes it so we're definitely not gonna bottom out. Oh yeah, we're already grinding, but are we gonna start lifting? Yeah, we're gonna lift. So you can definitely see we are absolutely touching there. So let's back up and go at an angle. If not, I can always grab a shovel. Because remember here, I don't want to just avoid damaging the vehicle, I also want to avoid damaging the trail. So when we bring more advanced vehicles through here, they can still have fun with stuff like this. So this is where X mode comes into play, not just for going forward, but also in reverse, which is nice. Pick that nose up a little bit, lift us up. I'm just keeping the throttle steady at about 10%. Maybe not quite enough. Let's go. Okay. I'm just digging holes. Come on, you gonna figure this out? Let's try lifting. There, ooh, stuffed it a little bit. But we got it. I think we're going through. We're lifting now. Yeah. Are we gonna drag the midsection? Oh, it feels low. A little scraping, but just a little bit. Now keep in mind, this has over 9 inches of ground clearance. You don't usually find that on a CUV, so don't try this in a CRV at home. Or hey, guy who commented on our walkthrough video that you could do this with your Mazda Protege. No, you couldn't. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Well, clearly, it worked really hard to get us out there. Those front wheels were just kicking dirt up. Now in the front here, it looks like we scooped about 1 inch of dirt off, which isn't too bad. Let's go take a look at the front of the vehicle, see if it has any scratches. Man, that fan is working hard. I can tell, yeah, we had a little scoop right here, but really not bad. So for those of you curious, blackberries are an invasive species here in the Pacific Northwest. One of the early founders of Seattle brought a bunch of blackberries to the area, sold them, and then they just went everywhere. So yes, good for jam, not good for the environment. They kind of take over ecosystems. Anyway, let's stop talking about blackberries. Let's start talking about tilts. So here we're gonna dip driver's side front wheel in. Listen for any crunching on that clearance. Ooh, no, we're good. Oh. It's funny, these things always look so, I don't know, simple on camera walkthroughs, but when you're actually driving and you are tilting, actually, how much of a tilt do we have here? This car will tell us. We're at a 8-degree angle tilt, which this obviously can do way more than that. But we're definitely going to lift a wheel in the process. You might be noticing lots of wheel lifting. That's on purpose. 15, 16 degrees of a tilt here. Let's keep it going. And into the forest. Whoop. Yeah, this is what I'm here for. Come on, just keep the throttle in, and we'll see if it gets us out. Okay, now this is loose, so it's obviously having some issues. I'm going to go ahead and go to deep snow and mud, and we should get some more extreme wheel braking here as it kicks more power to the sides. I'm just keeping throttle in. Oh, it's met its match. Of course, I'm digging lower as I do this. Speed through there. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Throttle in, throttle in. We're making progress, and boom. Ooh, grind a little bit on the side, but we're good. Moving on. Yikes. Yep, it just dug in. This is where a proper locker would have been a really helpful thing to have, because it's not waiting for the slip. It just transmits power instantly because it's locked. Okay, on to the next thing. So the biggest difference between snow dirt and deep snow mud is actually that deep snow mud will allow for more wheel spin. I'm starting to think that wasn't the good choice in the sand there, because it just dug us deeper into the hole. So I should have probably kept it in snow dirt and carried more momentum through it in the first place. But oh well, we got out of it, no big deal. Let's continue on. Here we have a number of cross stitches. This is going to distribute power left to right multiple times. Definitely tilting some wheels in the process. And I'm going to actually switch it back to snow dirt. So if you saw our review of the Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro or the Lexus GX550, you saw that this section was a walk in the park and that the wheels always touch the ground. As you can see, not quite the case here. See, unibody, smaller wheelbase, it's going to hit the holes different, and because it's unibody, it has far less travel. And travel really makes off-roading easier. That is the huge benefit with going with something like a 4Runner over this. Of course, this gets much better fuel economy and is nicer to drive on long distances. So there's always a trade, right? Okay, and then this part of the course, if you watch our videos regularly, you've seen this before. This was one of the earlier versions. We're just going to do a turnabout here. Tilts are fun. And away we go to do it in reverse, which is going to be very different because it's all uphill now. Going back into the woods, we do have a little mud to contend with, so I'm going to do deep snow mud as the setting. We'll get a little more wheel spin, a little bit more power shift. Let's do it. Keep that momentum because we're going uphill. Yeah! Okay, now that we're back to the cross stitches or moguls, I'm going to go ahead and switch it into snow dirt mode so we don't have as much wheel spin. That'll have less trail deterioration in theory. Here we go, just easing on the throttle, and we'll let this vehicle do all the work. Maintain just a little bit of momentum to keep us moving forward. No momentum there. Okay. Don't want to come down too fast. Now the crawl ratio on this is actually not bad, but obviously not nearly as good as you would get with the dual range transfer case. But, you know, it's workable. Right. Yeah, we're going to zip around the tilt. No reason to do that twice. It's pretty much level. Let's see what this ditch is like in reverse. Lift a wheel. Are we going to slide on the side a little bit? Now, nice thing. To turn off collision because it keeps popping on. Now it's not letting me go forward. Settings. No, we go car. Try driving assistance, forward collision warning. Can't turn it off? Of course, pre-collision braking, off. Okay. So if you're off-roading, you typically want to do that because it's going to detect a lot of situations thinking that you're about to crash, but you're not. Although, maybe we are in this case. Oh, that's a little scoop of dirt there. Maybe I should have gone this way more. Let's back it up and see what we can do that. Front cameras are a good thing. Yes, we can get through courses just fine without them, but a little extra assistance is never a bad thing. So now we're going to go left a little bit more. Push it through! Not what you usually want to do. Check that departure angle. Ooh, no rubbing. Okay, we're in snow dirt mode and X mode kicks in. Gets up, no problem. Oop, little issue there. Got it. Ha! Okay. Yay for skid plates. And no problem. It's just plastic. And we do have one more feature to test, and that is hill descent control. When you turn X mode on, it doesn't matter if it's X mode, snow dirt, or deep snow, it kicks in when you're on a hill, and that does it both going forward and backward. So right about here, I can just let off the throttle, and it's going to ease me down at about 3 miles per hour. All I have to do is worry about steering. Right. So there we go. The course was not easy. In fact, it was a little bit more difficult than I expected. But I really can't wait to take some more highly capable vehicles on it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And it will absolutely separate the highly capable vehicle from the posers. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share videos. We make them for you. Hope you enjoy them. And for those of you who have supported our channel throughout the years, thank you. It's because of you and your viewing that we can do things like this, and I really appreciate it. No, we don't have a Patreon. We do have some merch. Guess you can go buy a shirt. That would be nice.